Nestled at the foot of the hills, beside a forgotten valley, there was a small village named Sunari Naglari. With its ancient bamboo groves, water trickling down from both sides, and lush green paddy fields, the village sat quietly, like the dust that settles on the earth unnoticed. In that village lived a boy, Karan. The villagers used to call him the Silent One, not because he couldn't speak, but because he chose to listen to the voices that came from beyond the hills, voices that taught him how to dream. Karan wasn't born into wealth. He had only his grandmother, his Ida. She was his world, his mother, his father, and his entire home. Their mud house was falling apart, and during monsoons, water would leak from the roof. Ida would place sacks of sand to protect them from the rain. When Karan was just 5, he lost both his parents in an accident. From that day on, his grandmother's eyes stayed wet, while his own held a silent fire. His eyes didn't speak, but they carried 1,000 words within. Every morning before the sun rose, Karan would fetch water from the mist-covered spring near the hills. After tending to the cattle, he'd run barefoot to school. Sadly, he didn't even have a place on the bench. He sat on the floor, writing with intense focus. His eyes were tired, but his mind was lightning. His school uniform had been stitched 36 times. The books he read were those discarded by other children, torn and taped together. One pen, 3 years. A tin file to hold it all. He didn't dream of being rich. He dreamt of recognition, to be known, heard, remembered. He imagined old villagers one day proudly saying, "One of ours works at NASA." That would be the real dream come true. In the rain, he studied under a plastic cover. In the cold, his hands trembled, yet he continued to write. In the summer, wearing a sweat-soaked white vest, he studied by lantern light. Other boys would laugh, "This kid's gone mad," but he would just smile. He never replied, but within, a voice echoed, "One day, I'll show them." One day, while helping a teacher carry books, he found a torn magazine. A village boy who became a NASA scientist. He read it slowly, like reading a sacred dream. That evening, his eyes lit with fire. He clenched his fist. "I can do this too." Then he changed. He began writing English words on his mud walls. He fixed a broken radio speaker with the help of a mechanic, not to listen to songs, but to tune into BBC News. He practiced giving speeches in front of cows. He joined kids' pretend school games. His inner teacher had awoken. But life isn't kind. In his board exams, he shockingly failed. His dreams seemed to crumble again. He had no money for coaching. A year passed, then another. Most would have given up by then, but not Karan. He cut bamboo in the rains and made toys to sell, used the money to buy books, worked in brick kilns early morning, studied late at night, ate one meal a day, wore old jeans and a hope-torn vest. One day, a new teacher came to the village, Joseph Da, a once-renowned professor who had retired to the village for peace. He noticed Karan, a silent boy who never missed school, whose eyes glowed with ambition. Joseph Da began teaching him personally, English, math, science, and most importantly, confidence. He once said, "You weren't born to be wasted. You were born to create." Karan applied for a rural scholarship exam, tough competition, over 100 participants. When results came, Karan's name was at the top. The village erupted in celebration, drums, sweets, laughter, and tears rolling down Ida's eyes like a river. For the first time, Karan boarded a train from his tiny village to the capital city. The city, an entirely different world. Different language, clothes, smiles. Boys laughed at him. Where's he from? What are those shoes? But Karan had brought fire within. He battled time with his books, took up part-time work in college, gave tuitions, traveled to Guwahati to learn public speaking, slept little. His books soaked in sweat and sacrifice. Years later, he was a scientist at a reputed institute. He invented a patented solar-powered water lifting system. And one bright morning, he returned to his village. The green fields were the same, but the water crisis remained. He installed his solar-powered system, completely free of cost. The children stared at him with burning dreams in their eyes. Under the same tree where he once studied, he stood and said, "Do you always need to leave your village to chase your dreams? No. Your morning courage and midnight lanterns are enough. Don't wear dreams. Burn with them inside."